Well, you knew this was coming. I mean, I knew this was coming. Oh my gosh. I mean, Thrag really showed up. He pulled up, and in the last few episodes of Invincible were just absolute chaos in the best way motherfucking possible, and we love that. But we're not going to be seeing any more Invincible for a whole year, and so at least we can savor this, because oh, it was just so fire. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, we can't see anything for a while. We don't get to see Cecil's reaction to Mark telling him that he fought Conquest. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. But let's watch Thrag do his thing, because he really did it.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thrag guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
A few moments later.
I got this!
Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. Because what are you here for? To worship me? Kill you.
Oh no, fucking shit. I don't know. Oliver is fucking crazy. He didn't learn from Conquest, but he definitely learned now. I think. I actually don't know anymore.
Y'all already know what time it is. Court is now in session because it's time for a trial. And it is for none other than the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy. Viltrum's final boss, Grand Regent Thrag. So, y'all already know how this works. We got the evidence and it is ready to be presented. And my God, I gotta say this is some of the most damning evidence a character has ever had. So, without further ado, Exhibit A.
Oof.
All right, let's get down to business. Exhibit A, Thrag's rise to power and his multiple atrocities. Now, we actually got a glimpse of Thrag's backstory right here. And just from this backstory alone, you could already tell that Thrag was a crazy ass nigga. Because this man is responsible for multiple horrible atrocities. So let's start off with example one. This one planet was trying to start a rebellion because they were fed up with the Viltrumites' rule. So they decided to blow some shit up and retaliate. So the Viltrumite higher ups, or Argall's council, whatever the hell you want to call them, had a meeting to discuss of what they should do about this rebellion. Now, Krieg and Thetis were basically arguing the whole time, because Krieg straight up proposed that they should just decimate the whole planet to show the strength of the Viltrum Empire and strike fear into the species that was trying to rebel. But Thetis, on the other hand, proposed that they shouldn't decimate their planet because the Viltrumite rule over this species was cruel and inhumane. And he thought that since this species showed some type of pushback against their oppressors, that it was an act of strength and Viltrum should respect it because their main core value was strength. Now, while they kept yapping, Argall decided
I get that, but they don't value their strength.
Shut both of them up. Then he asked Thrag, "Young nigga Thrag, my crispy apprentice, what do you think we should do about this minor inconvenience?" And Thrag straight up said that these creatures were so weak that their weakness was an offense to the natural order of the universe, and we should educate them on why they're so ass. And after hearing Thrag's rant, Argall was like, "Now that is why you are my right-hand man. Tax them niggas 25% of their population." This man Thrag is responsible for this race losing 25% of their population. A quarter of these niggas was wiped off the map because Thrag thought they was weak as hell. Now, let's move into example 2. His first day as Emperor. Now, after Argall got assassinated.
I mean, the other guy said to destroy the whole planet. He's being merciful. Like,
into example 2. His first day as Emperor. Now, after Argall got assassinated and took a big-ass shank to the skull from Optimus Prime, they had a massive funeral for this man, and it was broadcasted across the entire planet. So after Thrag was done giving the eulogy, he does what is quite possibly one of the craziest things a leader could ever do. He said that there is a sickness in our society, and it needs to be cut out. So he points at this melanated brother behind him and asks him, "You, do I look fresh today?"
He singled him out.
I don't believe you.
He
decapitated this brother for no reason at all. He chopped his head clean off.
That's what happened,
out of him. So after he just murdered this dude in front of everyone, this man gets on the mic and says, As my first command as Grand Regent, I, Thrag, hereby officially announce the first ever VILTRUM Culling Games. Seek out every single sorry-ass nigga in our population and eradicate them. Purge every weak nigga from our population. So after Thrag gave this speech, all hell just broke loose across the entire planet, and the Great Purge began. Viltrumites just started killing each other off one by one, so they could weed out every person they considered weak. And it wasn't just the adults doing it too.
The kids.
Was the kids as well. Look at them jumping this little nigga. Bro got jumped by 3 other kids, then got stomped out to death. This was just straight up horrific, and I'ma keep it a beam. This had to be one of the worst ways to ever find out who was weak or not, because what this was a battle royale. Anything could happen. You could literally get cheap kills off of niggas for third-partying another 1v1.
It is the stupidest way.
Where you could literally wait until their 1v1 was over and they were at half HP and just come behind them and sneak their ass. Like, this shit is stupid. And God forbid a nigga ran into a motherfucker like Conquest, because that was just instant death. It didn't matter how strong you were if you ran into that nigga. That is just straight up bad RNG. And at the end of this purge that Thrag started, it led to half of their population getting wiped out. Billions of Viltrumites died because of this purge. And those billions of bodies are on Thrag's head, because he literally commanded them to do this. And now we're at our third major atrocity, and that was his invasion on Telescria. This nigga pulled up in a big ass Star Destroyer and started burning this city to the ground and destroying everything. Millions of innocent people were getting boomed and vaporized, while this man was just sitting in his ship and looking down on all this death and destruction.
Yeah. People were kind of clowning on Thrag in this episode. I mean, I was just like, more so he like ran away from everything in a way and all that stuff. But like, I knew like he had, I don't know. It was really funny to watch that episode though, honestly. But yeah, he really pulled up the next episode and showed up. He showed everyone who he was.
High probability that this man would have probably just scorched the whole planet if Mark and friends didn't destroy his ship and make him tweak out about losing Argol's skull. But I think that we can all agree after looking at these 3 atrocities that this man Thrag is just a straight up space tyrant, because there is nothing more that this nigga loved to do than conquer civilizations and spread bloodshed wherever he went.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exhibit B. All right.
It's crazy because it's like, it's also because he feels like he's doing the right thing too, though. You know, like that's what's like, he's like, I need to do this for my people and the past emperor. Like he's, oh my gosh, like the way he's worshiping his skull.
Putting the fraud allegations to rest. Man, oh man. The amount of people that were calling Thrag a fraud before episode 7 was just flat out insane. Like, we're now in an era
think he was
where
a
if a new
fraud,
character ain't doing some shit like ore farming or putting belt to ass to niggas in the first 5 minutes of their screen time, they're putting them on fraud watch. People were actually calling him a fraud before he even threw his first punch. Now, if you were a part of the crowd that was calling Thrag a fraud before all this happened, all is forgiven. As long as you sign this document and turn it in by the end of the
Wait. Okay, no. I didn't read the actual comics. Yes, that's me. I'm sorry for my behavior, and I hereby respect Grand Regent Thrag. There you go. But I didn't call him it was literally like I was reacting to what he was doing in that episode, and he was like, he just like ran away too. Like he did all this shit, and then he dipped. He like retreated. He was like, I'm out. And I'm like, huh? And what I thought was gonna happen was like he was gonna show up, but like I thought they were gonna cliffhanger us, honestly. I thought Invincible was like literally like we were gonna meet up with him and we weren't gonna see what he was gonna do. So, but I knew he was gonna show up.
Trial. Now, everyone should have known Thrag was all about that action the moment the coalition pulled up to Viltrum, because they pulled up searching for this man just for him to meet them at the front door. Bro said, you ain't even gotta search for me, gang. I'm right here and I'm ready to throw down. So Thula comes from behind and sneaks Status in the back, and all the other Viltrumites end up surrounding them, because Thrag set up an ambush because he knew they were gonna try to track him down and kill him on Viltrum. So he sicks his minions to start jumping the coalition, while he just straight up sat back and watched them fight the whole time. This dude didn't even bother to move from the spot he was in.
Doesn't need to.
Racer shot his infinity ray at him, and all he did was move back a couple of inches. This man didn't give a flying about a laser that would one-shot him. He just straight up had the confidence to know that that shit wasn't hitting him. So the first person to actually try to fight him was Omni-Man. So Nolan flew in and tried to hit him, but all Thrag did was move back a couple of inches again and make Nolan hit straight air. Then Thrag flew above him and winded up a punch from the heavens. And if you take a look at Nolan's face right here, you can tell that he is clearly thinking,
damn, he really about to rock my shit.
Thrag punched this nigga Nolan so hard he turned into a living, breathing meteor and made him crash all the way down on the surface of VILTRUM. So after Thrag hit Nolan with a stage change, Thrag came down and tried to hit Nolan with some good old talk no jutsu. He was telling him, Nolan, big dog, come home. Why are you fighting for these sorry-ass, weak-ass niggas? They just is sorry-ass killed our emperor and brought us to damn near extinction, and you wanna align with that Autobots roll out sounding ass nigga? But Nolan tried to tell Thrag that he was a changed man now, and he was done sipping from that VILTRUM Kool-Aid to be a brainwashed space tyrant. So after Nolan tried to get Thrag to stop and surrender, Thrag looked at Nolan dead in the face and said, oh, Nolan. How far you fallen. Looks like that Earth coochie really made you a soft ass nigga. So Thrag winds up a punch that was so strong it created a vortex. And he hits Nolan with a Shoryuken from hell that sent Nolan flying all the way back up into the stratosphere.
Up and down.
So after Nolan got sent back to outer space, the next person that tried to step up was everyone's favorite useless purple punching bag, Oliver. Now, before we observe what happens to this half-insect buffoon, I want y'all to hear exactly what Oliver says 20 minutes before this fight starts. Roll the clip.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thrag guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Now, as we can see, Oliver is basically representing everybody that put Thrag on fire. He himself was not believing in all the hype, even after his dad straight up told him, however strong you think you are, Thrag is stronger. But Oliver, being a hard-headed ass nigga and not listening to any of the warnings about Thrag, ended up being on the receiving end of one of the most brutal scenes in the series. Oliver flew in to punch Thrag, but Thrag stops him with one hand. Then he crushes Oliver's hand and grabs him by the arm when he tried to get away. And you can see it in Oliver's face when he finally realized that he fucked up. And he should have listened to his pops the whole time. But it was all too late for him. Thrag backhands Oliver so hard, his jaw falls off and his left arm got snatched. Ah, man. Attempted murder and tack on the child abuse. This nigga Oliver is the most useless person on this squad. He was a waste of space. And I already know some of y'all gonna be like, but CJ, what about Tech Jacket? You see, at least Tech Jacket knows her role. Sit in the back line, shoot your Viltrumite debuff darts at him, and get your assist. She's
like,
being
she was like a liability. She was a liability sometimes, but like she knows, like she was useful with her tech. Like, you know what I mean? Like she knows what she gotta do.
Might debuff darts at him and get your assist. She's being a good support character. Oliver, on the other hand, is that one brain dead DPS on your team that goes into a fight alone, dies,
Holy
and
shit,
asks where the team was at as he's feeding the other team.
Holy shit, I love Marvel Rivals.
This little nigga was talking crazy as hell, all for him to get his jaw broken off and not being able to talk again for the foreseeable future. Fucking trash can, bro. So after Oliver got humbled by Thrag, Mark tried to rush in on Thrag with a rage boost.
No, what did it say?
Bro, so after Oliver—
I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game.
Got humbled by Thrag. Mark tried to rush in on Thrag with a rage boost, all for Thrag to flash him with one of the craziest impact frames of all time, then stopping his punch with his hairline. Then after he showed Mark his fresh lineup that he got right before this battle, he gives him a left and a mean-ass gut check, then grabs him by the neck and pip slaps him out of Viltrum's orbit. Look at the impact frame of this man getting the shit slapped out of him. He slapped the taste out this nigga's mouth and made his whole head do a 180 before his whole body got put in reverse. Not gonna lie, gang, just for this, I'm giving him an extra attempted murder because this pimp slap was uncalled for, bruh. So damn disrespectful. Then after he pimp slapped Mark, he flew up to my glorious King Battle Beast, rocked him in his jaw, then grabbed his jetpack, then threw him to a whole other solar system because we don't see him again for the rest of the fight. Just for doing that to my goat, that's attempted murder. Because throwing Battle Beast like a toy into deep space is actually insane. So since everyone was getting dog walked by Thrag, they they decided the best thing to do was to just destroy the whole planet. So Space Racer shot his infinity ray at the planet, and Mark, Nolan, and Thetis fly into the planet's core and blow it up. So after these three blew up the planet, this sent Thrag over the edge. This man looked directly at Thetis, locked onto his target like he was a heat-seeking missile, and ripped Thetis' head clean off of his shoulders.
He had enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was just straight up murder.
Yes.
Thetis didn't even get a chance to react.
Yes.
All he saw in his last moments was Thrag's crispy-ass hairline, blitzing him at Mach speed. Then he displayed his head to everyone, then crushed it into mush while telling everyone they're next. So after he sent Optimus Prime back to the Bayverse, he grabs Nolan with no hesitation and just starts to lay the smackdown on this nigga. While Nolan couldn't do anything, he couldn't fight back at all. Thrag then low-key started hitting Nolan with the Superman Injustice 2 super move, just yo-yoing his body with punches. Then Mark came in and tried to help out, but he gets punched in the throat and he can't breathe anymore. So Nolan tried to attack, but he gets his wrist shattered. Then when Mark saw Thrag flying towards him, his fight or flight senses kicked in. Because Mark hit the jets and just
so
tried
fast.
to skedaddle. But Thrag was chasing him and he was on his ass. Look at the expression on Mark's face right here. This is the face of a man who is terrified and is running from death itself.
Yep.
So Thrag grabs Mark and starts giving him ferocious back shots. Then after he finished giving Mark back shots, he had him hoisted up and he was about to end this man's existence right here. But Nolan comes in and saves Mark at the last second. So after Mark got saved, Mark asked, "Dad, how do we beat him?" And Nolan looked back at his son and said, "Son, we're cooked."
Yep.
Lord have mercy, Thrag gave Nolan the VILTRUMS special technique. That is just flat out attempted murder. Then Thrag grabbed Mark by the neck again and gave him a headbutt that was probably heard around the cosmos. Then he started to squeeze his head, and he was going to crush Mark's head just like he did to Thetis.
I know.
But at the last second, Thrag decides to stop because he realized that too much Viltrumite blood has been spilled. So
No
he lets
way!
Mark off the hook and leaves him for dead in space with his father and his brother.
He says that
this
now.
This man Thrag shut those fraud allegations up real quick, cause he just straight up wiped the floor with everyone. Omni-Man got left with his guts hanging out, Mark got put into another coma, and Oliver had to get put in a Bacta tank with a new shiny mechanical jaw and a prosthetic arm to go with it. Exhibit C. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our third and final exhibit. Exhibit C, PTSD and holding Earth hostage. Now, after Thrag put belt to ass to the coalition and left the whole family for dead in space, Mark thought they were going to go to Earth and destroy everything. So when Mark finally recovered from the beating that Thrag gave him, it is revealed that Mark got his ass beat so bad, he got PTSD. But not just your regular PTSD. This nigga Mark got specifically post-thragmatic stress disorder. Not gonna lie, I think we haven't seen a case of PTSD this severe since Slade did this shit to Robin. Cause Mark was tweaking out so hard, he was seeing things just like Robin was. So let's go through some of the examples real quick of how severe this actually was. Example 1. Mark finally comes back home to see his mother for the first time after the war. So this was supposed to be a heartwarming moment, but it goes south real quick. While Mark was talking to his mom, he looked away for like 1 second. And when he turned around again, he sees Debbie getting choked out by Thrag. And Thrag tells him, "This is the smallest repayment for what you did," and rips Debbie's head clean off. I'm not gonna lie, this shit got me for a quick second, cause this happened so fast it felt like a jump scare. Bro really thought for a second that he saw his mother get her head ripped off before he finally snapped back into reality. But this was only his first post-thragmatic stress disorder episode.
It's so sucky though too, just cause like in the back of his head, like in the back of his mind too, it's like he could come back at any second. Like it's not over. They didn't win. They didn't win the battle. It's like he can never put his guard down. Like it's just
more to come. Example 2. Mark and Eve were having a very important conversation about how life's been for her since Mark left. And she was about to give him the whole lore dump of what all happened when he left. So right before she was about to tell Mark that she was pregnant, she gets her head snatched by Thrag. And Thrag starts to hold her up above Mark and tells him, "You took away what I loved." Now I'm taking what you love, little nigga. So he starts to gouge her eyes out and crush her face. Then her other eyeball ends up popping out of her head before he finally kills her in front of Mark. Then throws her lifeless body right back at him. This nigga Mark was going through hell. He was living a nightmare because he couldn't tell if this was real or not. Eve had to snap this man out of the genjutsu that he was stuck in because he was actually stun locked. Now, let's observe example 3. Mark is giving the debrief to Cecil about the war and was low-key about to ask him for a therapist. Now, while they're
okay. I can't wait for this conversation though. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my god, season 4, when he tells Cecil, oh, guess who I met in space?
Conversation continued. Mark closed his eyes, and the moment he looked back up, he sees Thrag giving Cecil the Viltrumite special move. And while he had his body lifted up, he told Mark, just to let you know, I'm still in your head, and not even therapy can repair the shit I did to you. Then he throws Cecil's lifeless body to the side like trash. And after this, Mark just started hyperventilating, because he was having a panic attack mid-PTSD till Cecil finally calmed this nigga down and brought him back to reality. So after Mark went through like 3 post-thragmatic stress disorder episodes, Mark decided to go on a flight to clear his head. And while he was out flying, he met him. Thrag again. So Mark, thinking he's having another episode, closes his eyes and starts to think in his head, this is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real, this nigga's not here. So when Mark opens up his eyes again, Thrag was still there. And he told him, yes, little nigga, we indeed are here. And this was when Mark finally realized that the Thrag standing in front of him was indeed the real Thrag. So Mark starts tweaking out and begins to hit Thrag over and over again. But Thrag just took all of this with no reaction, then palmed Mark's face and threw him back to where he started. Then Thrag told him, stop, little nigga. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to talk. So Thrag gives this man a little smile, then tells Mark, here's how this is about to go down, little nigga. You took our home, so now we're taking yours. So from this day
he's going planet for planet.
Yes, we will be using Earth as a breeding ground to repopulate our forces and rebuild our empire. And don't worry, they've already started. Krieg done cracked like 6 of your Earth holes already. That one-eyed motherfucker's having the time of his life right now. And Lucan is already famous. He's been hosting this show called Family Feud under an alias name, Steve Harvey or some shit. But that's besides the point. What you need to know is this, little nigga. You're going to let us coexist with you. And if you don't, we will rip this planet in half. Also, I will need to acquire the location of your planet's best barbers. Their services will be needed. So Mark has to agree because he basically has no choice. And Thrag officially takes the entire planet of Earth as hostage and turns it into a Viltrumite breeding farm.
So much, too much.
The verdict. Ladies and gentlemen,
not guilty.
Observing all of this evidence and tallying up this long list of charges, this is a pass with flying colors. This man Thrag belongs in the elite category for menaces. He pulled off this list of charges in 3 episodes, gang. That is like a new record for Charles or some shit. And this is just the tip of the iceberg because the files on this man are going to continue over the years. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. And until our next trial that is coming up very soon.
The Pain trial? Oh my gosh. Oh wow. I mean, Naruto versus Pain is my favorite fight in Naruto. Oh my gosh. Like literally everything happens in that fight. It's kind of crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's so you know what's what I was thinking of after I finished episode 2 was actually with when Cecil was having that talk with Mark about how, you know, let me like help you out, like put on like one of those ear things so I can, if you were faced with a tough decision, like at least let me be the person to make that decision so you could at least like sleep better at night, right? And I just like it was kind of foreshadowing, I guess, for the finale when he had to make a really damn tough decision, even though he had overall no choice. At the end of the day, I know Mark though. Like Mark is always gonna be like, I did that. Like I'm the reason why they're there. Like he's gonna blame himself fully. So it's like part of me just wishes he kind of took Cecil's advice there, but like I mean, there's so much going on. Like he couldn't think at the moment too. I don't know. Overall, I think Cecil did try to help Mark too. Like don't get me wrong. Like he definitely believes in like going for necessary evils in a way to handle things, which is what Mark is against, and he doesn't trust him for various reasons, etc. But oh my god, season 4 is gonna be another processing episode season in the beginning. It's just gonna be crazy, man. I mean, I love the drama, to be fair. Like I love the drama. Like it's just that's what I love about this show. Like the action, the brutality. Like I mean, I don't like that it's actually necessarily brutal personally. I mean, the fights are pretty insane, the action's great, but like I love the drama too. Like I love both. It's the best. It's literally the best of both worlds, genuinely, in the show. So I love the show so fucking much. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you when he puts up the pain trials, because like my gosh, like yes, yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't do pain. Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you when I see you.